Hey everyone, welcome to Area 616 and to the Iron Fist Week. Avengers Infinity War is set to not just be one of Marvel's biggest movies, but quite possibly one of the biggest movies of all time, with a reported budget of over $1 billion for both that movie and its sequel. According to Kevin Feige, it is the culmination of everything that they've been building up to since the Avengers, and it will unite the Marvel Cinematic Universe against Thanos. Combine that with the screenwriters saying that they're looking at over 60 characters to appear. A lot of fans have started wondering if perhaps when Kevin Feige says it'll unite the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he truly means all of it. Because you see, the MCU goes far beyond just movies. It actually goes on to TV as well, with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Marvel Netflix shows. So I'd say it's likely we'll see the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on screen, but the question on everyone's minds is, what about the Defenders? Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and this Friday, Iron Fist. They're all deeply troubled people who are just struggling to protect the city they love against much more realistic and dangerous villains, like insane crime bosses, evil mind-controlling British guys, and ninjas. Okay, so maybe it's not completely realistic, but it is true that it's on a different level tonally than the rest of the MCU. See, the Netflix shows are the only corner of the MCU where we can see people get beheaded by car doors and brutally murdered by the Punisher in prison. So the question is, how well could these characters and their world mix with the more upbeat, much less violent world of the movies? And will they? Well, people ask the creators pretty much whenever they get the chance, and the responses are usually mixed. Sometimes they're positive, sometimes they aren't. For example, a while back, someone asked Jeff Loeb about it, and he said that it was complicated for a couple reasons. First, scheduling. If they were to be in Infinity War, that would be however long their shoot is that they can't have their own shows filming. So it's a bit of a problem there. Second, story-wise, some of them said that they weren't sure the characters were ready for that yet. Meaning, how would it affect Daredevil Season 3 if, in between that and the Defenders, he went and fought aliens with the Avengers? Now, comic fans, including myself, would say that it doesn't affect him in any major way. And if anything, it would help the writers. See, it's true that it would be a bigger and weirder fight than Daredevil has ever undertaken. However, when he gets back down to the streets, he'll go right back to fighting criminals. Him fighting aliens once doesn't change his character, it just adds to it. They could even work it into Daredevil Season 3. Perhaps he's a bit cockier now because he's gone off and fought aliens with Captain America, but now he's back in the metaphorical mud, fighting to keep his small neighborhood from imploding. It could actually work pretty well. Mike Coulter also recently said that they probably wouldn't be in Infinity War. However, he did say that all of them did have the possibility of a movie appearance on their contracts. But a little while before that, there was a glimmer of hope from Kevin Feige of all people. See, Kevin was talking about how cool it will be that, quote, everybody, regardless of if they have godlike powers, will go up against Thanos. Because that's what they do. And while he was talking about the Avengers at the time, someone did ask him if by everybody he meant the Defenders as well. And his answer was actually quite exciting. He said, and I quote,
"Spoilers!"
Now, that's not a confirmation. But that's also not him saying no. But as far as scheduling problems go, there might be a solution. See, the Defenders Netflix series has been filming in New York since October 31st. And they're set to be finished this month. So how hard would it really be to have Charlie Cox, Kristen Ritter, Mike Coulter, and Finn Jones fly down to Atlanta and shoot some scenes for Infinity War for 2 weeks? Not hard at all is the answer. I mean, they're all here. Heck, even Jon Bernthal is filming The Punisher right now. They could take 2 weeks and use them to film the scenes The Punisher isn't in, and have Jon go to Atlanta. Of course, there's the question of how they'd fit into the story, and my guess is that the Avengers are going to need all the help they can get to fight Thanos, and assumedly his army. And in fact, they might have to leave Earth altogether to fight him, so they're going to need some help. I'm fairly certain that Phil Coulson will be in it, so perhaps S.H.I.E.L.D. will bring in some superheroes to help with the fight, like Ghost Rider and the Defenders. Now, if the Defenders are in it, keep in mind they won't be there for very long. I'd wager they'd have maybe 6 to 7 minutes of screen time max, and a lot of that would just be fight scenes and them standing in the background. So if they were confirmed to be in it, don't expect a whole lot from them. But as far as scheduling and story goes, it could certainly work. However, there's still one thing holding them back. Imagine for a second you're just an average moviegoer who's seen all of the Marvel movies, but you don't really watch TV. But suddenly, here are all of these characters who have apparently been around for a while, but you know nothing about. Would that detract from the experience for you? I want to say no, as if anything, it'd just drive more people to watch the show. However, I can't speak for someone who hasn't seen the TV shows. It could very possibly just confuse them. So it's hard to say. But what do you guys think? Do you think bringing the Defenders into Infinity War could work? Should Marvel even do it, or would it mess things up? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
Sweet.